Hello everyone. Today we will talk about the second part of Wilson's essay, The Study of Administration, which was published in the year 1883. The second part of the essay talks about the subject matter of the study of administration. So the entire part, this part is explaining what does Wilson mean by administration, and we can say that this part of the essay talks about what is the relationship between administration. I'm giving the summary in the point form, so and I'll discuss each point as I explain. Okay, administration and politics. This part of the essay contains these following things. Okay, so he talks about what is the relationship between administration and politics. What is the relationship between administration and constitution? And in this part, when he is explaining the relationship between administration and constitution, we will get to understand what does Wilson mean by responsibility. Okay, how is it related with power and free will? Okay, how this is related with responsibility is related with power and free will. What does he mean by public opinion? Why does he talk about public opinion, and what is the relationship between public opinion and responsibility? Then final thing, what is the relationship between administration and bureaucracy? This will be like final. Public administration and bureaucracy. Okay, so let's start with this thing first. So if you are asked to write about Wilson's view on administration, you need to add one more point, that is his view on relationship between administration and government. Okay, this part he has already mentioned in the very first part of the essay. And also I want you all to kindly watch my very first video wherein I explain the terms government and politics to get the better understanding of this part of the essay. So, but still I will be speaking in very briefly about the terms government and politics. So let's assume this is a person, okay, and each one of us has the power to decide about ourselves. But when we stay in group, this power we prefer to give to some person which we have chosen to decide for the limited resources. Okay, and this person plays politics. Okay, he is given the authority to decide, and as per his intelligence or as per his idea about right or wrong, he decides that who will get what. Okay, so he plays the politics, and this person further, with the help of the government or a group of people or an organization, he puts into effect this decision of his, that who should get what. Okay, so if this is politics, so this is the administration, that is the action part of the people chosen by the person who is being given the authority to decide about people, to implement what he has decided for the people. So this is the administration. Okay, very briefly I have mentioned here, but please do watch my very first video. So now you understood that what is government. With this diagram you understood what is government and what is politics, okay, and what is administration. Okay, so the very first part of the essay he has just mentioned that administration is the action part of the government. Okay, it is the most obvious part of the government, and in this part he will be talking about relationship between the administration and politics, and the relationship between the administration and the constitution. Okay, so I am not rubbing this because this will be our roadmap for the entire lecture. So now coming to the administration and politics. So one thing, we got an idea that what is the relationship between administration and politics. So he says that if you want to understand the administration, we need to differentiate it with the politics. And he clearly says that administrative questions are different from political questions. It's very clear, because political questions are deciding that who will get what, and administrative questions are how they will get what is being decided. Okay, it is the executive part of the government. Okay, so it is the action part of the government. So he also relates this politics and administration dichotomy. This is not his term, he has not mentioned that term dichotomy, but he separates politics and administration. Okay, so I am using this term, political and administrative dichotomy. So he says that the administrative questions and political questions are different. Fine. Now he says that, but there exists a relationship between the administration and politics. So if we just see this diagram, that these people chose this person. Okay, in democracy, this is a group of people. Okay, these are politicians. Okay, then these people they form a government. Okay, and then with the help of officials, they perform their activity. So these people, if they decide, suppose they decide, okay, we'll do this. So is it true that whatever they decide, government does that? Is it true? No. What if this person is really biased for this thing, this person, this group of people? No, what if they together, become anti people, or they decide for themselves? This can happen because now they have got all power. They can do whatever they feel like. Does it happen? No, it doesn't happen, because there exists a relationship between the government and the politics, or the administration and the politics, because administration is nothing but the action part. So what is the relationship? There is a relationship, or there is a connection which is maintained between the politics and the administration, and that is by the lasting maxims of the political wisdom, the permanent truth of political progress. You should understand one thing, that whatever action they take is guided by the political wisdom. They know if they are responsible, they have some wisdom. Okay, this time, okay, we got elected, maybe next time they have to perform their activity in a very diligent way. Is it not so? Yes, of course it is. Otherwise they can be like such a big nuisance. They can, and it does happen in many countries where they become autocratic ruler, and people they have to fight again, as we mentioned in the very first part, how they fight back to get the power, through demonstrations, and so this is the connection between the politics and the administration. He has also quoted a German writer. I'm writing his name. German, I don't know how it will be pronounced. Bluntschli. Okay. So he quoted Bluntschli to differentiate between the politics and administration. Bluntschli says that politics is the activity of state, okay, in great and universal things, whereas administration is the activity of states in individual and small things. Okay, so both are the activity of state. Okay, you should know what the state is, and I think I have mentioned in the first part of the essay the state is nothing but a entity which has fixed geographical territory. It has a government of its own, it has a population. Okay, it is considered to be sovereign by other countries. Okay, so this is a state, and when this state deals with the individual and small thing, it is called administration, and when it deals with the greater and universal things, it is called the politics. And also you can differentiate by seeing who is performing this activity. When the activity of the statesman is called the politics, and the activity of the trained officials is called administration. So here, if you want to focus, if you want to locate where the administration is, follow the activity of the trained officials. Okay, so whatever they do, it is called administration, and whatever the statesmen do, it is called politics. So now we are clear with the difference between politics and administration. Now coming to the very interesting part of the essay, that is the difference between the administration and the constitution. Okay, Wilson himself accepts the fact that it is very confusing. The difference between what is the boundary of constitution and what is the boundary of administration can be little confusing, because then he takes the example by Niebuhr's. I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm just writing the spelling. Sorry, this has to be HRS. Okay, Niebuhr says that liberty depends incomparably more upon administration than upon constitution. I'm writing this because this can be a important question wherein you will be given this statement and you will be asked to explain. Okay, in what relation Wilson quoted this, maybe something like that. And one more thing, after this part of, I'll be discussing the questions asked on Wilson in UPSC examinations. Okay, so next video will be on that. So he says that liberty depends incomparably more upon administration than upon constitution. Okay, does it not appear to be the correct thing? It does. But then Wilson says that suppose there is a very healthy person. Okay, he has the liberty to move his arms and limbs, but does he really start moving anywhere? Does he not use his intelligence to see where to move, to what an extent to move? Suppose he has gone to watch a match and suddenly he starts moving his hands and legs, and he doesn't care if other people are getting hurt. So do you think it is the liberty in true sense? No, because he knows, his intelligence tells him that no, if I it doesn't really matter that if I am healthy or not, but if I am doing something wrong, okay, I am using my liberty to move my hands, but I am doing in such a way that other people are not hurt. So he is using the principle of intelligence there. In the same way, the constitution has certain principles, okay, which need to be followed when we are implementing those freedoms, those duties which are enshrined in the constitution. So how does this principle act? This principle acts as the spring of liberty and servitude. Do we agree here? Of course, yes. We need to follow certain principle, not just the the very fact that we are liberal. We need to follow when we are implementing or making use of those making use of liberty or any such thing. Okay, so secondly, then he says, okay, fine, if we go by this principle, then he talks another thing. Okay, then he says that, okay, fine, we are liberal. Let's take another example. Suppose there is a ruler and he is very 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 what do you say, not very strict ruler, or you can say class teacher. Suppose class teacher is very liberal. Okay, if a student misbehaves also, then she says never mind, it's okay. But are kids supposed to behave that way? No, they don't have the right, but still they are behaving, and the reason being that very liberal teacher. So if this kind of discretion or if this kind of freedom is being given to the citizen, it will be a kind of it will not be a freedom in true sense. Okay, because if the teacher changes, people will not have that freedom. If you want the freedom in real sense, it should be given through the constitution. It doesn't. So if we see these two examples, so both are important. Whatever you want should be coming to you through law, and it also depends on the person who is implementing that law. Okay, then it makes a sense. So I hope you're clear till here. Now let's see. Now Wilson says, okay, fine. So what is the difference between the administration and the constitution? So if administration is just the execution of the general law, which is being given by the constitution, it is the detailed execution of the general law, whereas the constitution is just the general law which directs what things to be done. Okay, it does not talk about, constitution does not talk about how it is to be done. It just says that this is to be done. Okay, that in a very general way. How it is to be done is left on the administration. Fine. So we can say that constitution builds an environment, trustful environment. Because what is trust? We need to understand the word trust. We just feel that we know the term trust, but you should understand the term trust. Trust is being fearless. Okay, and how do we become fearless? When we know what is going to happen. What is going to happen? And how do we know what is going to happen? When the same things give the same results, or the same causes gives the same result. Is it not true? When we know that if we do this, this thing will happen, we become more confident. Okay, we develop the trust, we become fearless. Otherwise our mind keeps playing the trick of alarming us. Please be careful, there is a fear, there is a lack of confidence. But when we know this is going to happen, if we do this, we become more confident. That is why when you practice before examination, you are confident for the paper, but when you have not practiced enough, you have that fear. Okay, so how does the constitution makes the environment trustful? Because they have written that this is to be done. Okay, and this person will do this thing, because they have divided the work among different parts of the government, of course, but how it is to be done is left on the administration. So now the Wilson asked, can we say that administration is just implementing the deed is the law? Wilson says no. It cannot be said that. Just like the administration is not just the machinery in the hands of politicians, because there is a connection between the administration and politics. In the same way, there is a relationship between constitution and administration. Administration is just not following the deed. It has the free will. Now to explain the free will, Wilson has explained what is the relationship between the power and free will, what is the responsibility. Okay, to understand Wilson's view on responsibility, we need to understand that Wilson feels that power itself is not a bad thing, okay, but irresponsible power is a very, very dangerous thing. So in order to make power more efficient, it needs to be fixed by the responsibility, okay. So he says that responsibility can be increased by increasing power plus discretion. There should be perfect balance between the power and discretion to fix the responsibility so that the power is not abusive, otherwise power itself is not dangerous, but if you have not fixed the responsibility that who should be how much powerful and how much free will he should have, then it becomes a very dangerous thing and it can be very abusive, okay. So he says that there should be a balance between power and discretion. What does he mean by that? Suppose, and how is it related to responsibility? Suppose he says you have given a power to a person, this is a person, and you have given an immense power, okay, but just for the namesake, he does not have any discretion. The discretion is missing here, okay. So if the discretion is missing, means what is to be done, okay, it will be done in the name of him, okay, he is having the power, but he cannot decide, okay, let's do, every time he says that, he'll say I'm not responsible, I don't know. So will it be efficient? No, you cannot fix the responsibility because the person is not ready to take the responsibility because he is not being given the power of discretion. So this is useless, this is irresponsible power, and this will be as good as not giving power at all. And when you're not giving any power, it's not going to be efficient form of administration. Now second thing of making it responsible is you have given the power, immense power, you have given the discretion, okay. First part we have given the power but not discretion. In the second part we have not given the power, we have not given required amount of power, in the same way required amount of discretion, okay. To an extent only he is able to decide, and then after a point he says no, this is not my my field. So in the same way, so here he is not being enough amount of power, but he has the discretion, okay, do whatever you want to do, he's free to do, but the power is not there, again he's limited. So again this will be kind of irresponsible. Every time, oh, I am not responsible, I don't know, I know that I have discretion, but I cannot help it because I don't have power to decide, or I cannot do it. So again will be a power without responsibility. Again this will be a very not very fruitful. Now he talks about that why it is important to study about responsibility, okay. Then he explains that in democracy, especially in democracy, not just in democracy but in every form of government, there is a suspicion, okay, suspicion. A person who suppose a person is always the ruler or the sovereign is always suspicious about his servant, and this is a very basic knowledge. It happens with us also, it is a very thing, and the reason behind this is that the sovereign has power and he has delegated that power to his servants, okay. Otherwise he is supposed to do that work, but now he has given that power to his servants, or here it is called government, or whatever you can call civil servants or officials, whatever you call. So the power to do something is being given to these people, or they have delegated this power. So this is very natural that you will be suspicious about their tendency, about their capability to do the work in the same way as you would have done it, is it not? So this is the reason behind sovereign getting suspicious about servant. But this is not good. This any kind of relationship, this Wilson has written that any kind of relationship is not good if it is based on suspicion. So what do? We should be vigilant, okay. We should be vigilant. What does vigilant means? that you should observe it, you should collect the facts, okay, about the person, how is he working. So when you are vigilant, the relationship will improve, okay, and the person's self-esteem will also improve. He'll get motivated to work in a much better way, because he gets to know that okay, you are feeling confident about his capability. And also you are not blindly trusting him, you're vigilant, you're always kind of making it sure that he is doing it. So this is called fixing the responsibility, okay. We haven't come to responsibility till yet, so this is called. But when you fix the responsibility also, vigilant, okay, fine, I am watching you, and you are fixing the responsibility. Responsibility, as I mentioned here, this is giving power and discretion, okay. When this thing happens in any relationship, it becomes very efficient, okay. So he talks about 3 things here. The suspicion in any relationship is not good at all for the relationship, but when you get vigilant, it helps in the physical well-being of the relationship, okay. Relationship will improve definitely, but if you want to make the relationship efficient, you should be vigilant and also fix the responsibility. Responsibility is nothing but giving him power and the free will, okay, the free will to decide. Now, after talking about responsibility, Wilson feels that towards whom the official should be responsible, towards whom should he look forward for his promotion, for any kind of reward if he performs his duty well, to the direct official head or to the public, okay. So there he says that it should be studied, okay, it should be studied by that in the study of administration. But Wilson feels that he should be responsible for the public opinion, towards the public opinion. So what is public opinion, okay, and why does he talk about public opinion? For Wilson, because as you know, he is an American. In America, liberty of means such a great thing. So he just can that's why he preferred to say that officials should be responsible towards the public opinion. But then he corrects himself. He knows that in America people are very liberal, they have opinion about everything, and if they interfere with their opinion about day-to-day activity, will it not be a very kind of nuisance, because it will disturb the day-to-day activity of the administration. He accepts this fact. So then he talks about public opinion, okay. What is public opinion? So for Wilson, public opinion is the motivation of government, okay. It acts as the motivation of government, it is the motive behind the government, okay. So then he compares two nations, okay, as I mentioned in the first part also, that he compares Europe and America, okay, European government and American government, because administration was firstly studied in Europe only. So he says that as it happens in Europe, people, they don't have a public opinion as such, okay. They are because one writer has written, please have public opinion, please have your own opinion, because if you have the opinion, you will be a kind of check on the government will be more efficient, and such kind of people, it's a disgrace. But we are at advantageous stage that we have an opinion, but problem is that we have so much of opinion that we need to control it, okay. So that's what administrative study has to do, that to what extent we should have public opinion, okay. All those things need to be studied. So for that we need the study of again these 2 reasons he has given, and we can relate it to the title of the essay, okay. Now after telling all this, lastly he talks about relationship between administration and bureaucracy. Why he talked about bureaucracy? Because when he was talking about public opinion, he has given the reason that it is high time that we need to teach people to form a public opinion, and they should study about administration, and the study of administration should focus on training the people, okay, to become officials. Because if we do that, if we do not do that, then the country will be, having so many people having the political opinion, okay, they will be having an opinion, but they don't know how to act, they don't know how to become a better official. So for that reason we need to study administration. But he says that if we study administration, or we train the people to become official, will it not take the form of a bureaucracy? Because bureaucracy is nothing but a set of officials from head to toe, and they just follow fixed rules and regulation, and they do not take into consideration public opinion. They suffer, or their negative point is that they have red tapeism, they have officialism, they do not consider what people think about them. They just, okay, fine, this is to be done, this is how to be done, they do not consider. And the head is always an official. But here the kind of administration he is talking about is different from bureaucracy, because the head of each department is not the official but the politician, okay, I mean to say a part of the people, part of the government. So he is the head of the officials, he decides at what is to be done, and this person always takes into consideration the public opinion. Okay, this is how he ends the second part of the essay. Third part of the essay, it's very simple, and he talks, that is, methods to be followed by the study of administration. Okay, and there are many quotations which can be asked in a question form, like so say third part, I'll say third part is the method of the study of administration. He talks about the comparative method. This is the third part we are doing now. Methods, okay. Comparative methods. And the entire essay, he explains that how it is beneficial for us to follow this method of study. Here he says that until and unless we compare ourselves with others, we do not get to know what are our good points and what are our bad points. Okay, and when we compare, it really does not matter that if we are different. Suppose, like he talks about comparing American administration and European administration. He says that only after comparison we get to know that all types of government are same, okay, and all types of administrations are same. All the governments have only one purpose, that is to act for the people. Just then he gives the example, okay, he gives the example that there is no difference between the body of a slave and the body of a liberal person. They all have the same organs, but what matters is the motive. Okay, he says that, he has written it down, written in this part of the essay. He also says that it depends on us that what we want to learn. Just all depends is on the intention. We are a liberal people, so if we know, we can learn from others how to get the thing in a better person, because our the very motive is being liberal, so that will guide our action. But how to do it in an efficient way, that we can learn from the person who is not liberal. To substantiate this, he has given the example of a person who is sharpening his knife with the intention to murder. But how efficiently he is sharpening, this we can copy. But whether to use it for murdering someone or to cut the vegetable, it depends on our intentions. Okay, how beautifully he has written this and convinced us that we should believe in comparison, we should compare ourselves. Ultimately, it is the intention what matters. Okay, but we should be efficient. So now we have ended with the entire essay by Woodrow Wilson. Next lecture will be on the questions asked in UPSC. I have seen there are only 3-4 questions and I think I have covered each and everything. If you attempt those questions, you will be able to answer all the university questions and any questions on Wilson. With this, please kindly subscribe. Okay, it's free of cost, and it will help me to upload more videos. And also, if you have any queries, comments, please do write me in the comment box. And I have a question for you. This is a homework kind of. Can you please tell? Can anybody tell me that if I say he is an IS official or he is an IS officer, which one is correct? Please give your answers in the comment box. Till then, take care.